Ugh. Hello there. We are finally getting to our live. I'm a little bit behind schedule from when I would normally do it because we are out in California. So we're on Pacific time right now, and it is 4:30 out here in good old California. And Ralph, how you doing, sir? Hope you're not too cold or wherever you are. I'm in the balmy Southern California weather here in Palm Springs, California, right off of I-10. And it's nice t-shirt and shorts weather. The only other big problem is that I'm stuck at 55 miles an hour all the freaking way, which that's the part that sucks. But, whatever. We picked up a load of what's up? Some annoying 90s, commercials for you. We picked up some ATVs out of El Paso yesterday after we met our delivery in El Paso. So we just went down the road a little bit and bing, bang, boom. We got 7 4-seater ATVs on our step deck, only about 14,000 pounds. So a super light load. Just threw some straps over and there you go. Laverne? I thought you lived in Shirley. Whatever. Like I said, we picked up yesterday in El Paso. Got on the road, did a little bit of miles, and got myself over to Lordsburg, which I didn't get stopped till about 6:30 at night, which is a little bit later than I like to stop. But Lordsburg is I've never seen it crowded ever. The Pilot and the Flying J right there on the east side of Lordsburg. I've never seen it truly crowded ever. So I didn't worry about trying to reserve a spot or worried about getting there or whatnot. So I had a backup plan. I could go on a little bit further to a rest area or the Loves or whatnot, or reserved a parking spot. So but other than that, it was an easy day. Drove down about 200 miles down I-25, got to the John Deere dealer there in El Paso, got the little 310 backhoe loader off. Already had my next load on the books, so went up to the truck stop, scanned my paperwork, dropped it into the trip pack. Had to wait, unfortunately, for the appointment time to come around to do my pickup because they wouldn't. They said show up an hour early. We'll get to you as soon as we can, but it's one of them places that's it's too small, too many trucks coming in and out. They don't have a good system for where you got to stage, where you got to load, where you got to, where you got to, strap down. They don't have any signs up that actually help you go where you're supposed to go. And anybody who's there will just look at you. And then when you finally get out of the truck to go talk to them, hey, where do I need to do this? Oh, you need to go up there and do this, and do that, and do that. It's like, why don't you put a sign out front? Tell the drivers where they need to go. So you go, bang. But like I said, we got one ATV up on the front, horn of the trailer. That's just wrapped in cloth. And then I got 6 other ones in crates on the lower deck. So basically just threw 3 straps over each piece, and then just head down the road, which didn't take too long at all. So it wasn't too bad. Then like I said, yes. Then I got through El Paso, got over to Lordsburg, parked it for the night, got up around 5 a.m. a little after, got through the last 24 miles of New Mexico, through Arizona, through Tucson, through Phoenix. Wasn't too bad. Stopped in Buckeye, did a 30-minute break there. But first I stopped in Tucson. Hey, bit of chat. Thank you. Glad to have you in. Appreciate it. Ain't seen your name in a long, long while. At least almost more than a month. All right, but like I said, from Lordsburg this morning, made it through the rest of New Mexico, about 25 miles. Stopped in Tucson for a load check. Stopped in Buckeye for a second load check and my 30-minute break at the Loves in Buckeye, Arizona, because I did not want to stop in Phoenix. That was just, no. I don't like stopping anywhere in Phoenix. Hey, bit of chat. Do not ever worry about that. Family comes well before this knucklehead. I have no problem, and I'll be making sure I say a prayer for you tonight as well. You don't owe me a single thing. So you always take care of yourselves first. I appreciate the apology anyway. I mean, it's wholly unnecessary though. So like I say, Buckeye, got my load check, a 30-minute break done there. Then moved on to Ehrenberg, right? Exit 1, right there before the California border. And then, of course, as soon as you enter California, you got the agricultural station. And then, you go through that, deal with that nonsense. Then you're stuck at 55 miles an hour for the rest of the state. So, that just took, 114 miles, taking 2 hours when it should have taken an hour and a half, at the most. So, well, it's part of trucking. I know how you feel there. My mother died a couple years ago, here in November as well. So I understand that one. Well, the problem with the truck stops in Phoenix, you have 2 or 3 that are actually worth it. One like Chandler, and then, everything that's kind of in the downtown area, they all suck. They're all too crowded, too small, too tight. No matter what time, day or night, there's always a problem. Somebody's got an attitude or whatnot. So I just stopped going to them at all. Like I said, I'd rather go out to the east side, the southeast side, and go to Chandler, to the Loves there, or go to the Loves out in Buckeye, depending on which way I got to head. I do not like stopping in any of those three or four that are right on the main drag there on I-10, in downtown. They're just not good. They don't have the space. They're not well laid out or any of that. And that's, there are truck stops that I like and truck stops I don't. I mean, I am a Pilot J flying J kind of guy. I get all kinds of benefits from coming here exclusively. One, shower power. Because I fill 1,000 gallons in a month, every month, I have a free 31 days worth of showers every single month. In addition to that, every time I fill, I get a shower credit. So I don't know if you can see that right now. I have shower power and 5 credits. So if I want to, I could take 6 showers in one day, free of charge. You know, and plus right now I'm sitting at 862 gallons for the month, and we're on what, the 16th? Day 16, yeah, 16th. Halfway through the month, I'm already at 862 gallons, and I'm earning 2.5 credits or 2.5 points per gallon. So this month I'm racking up a lot of points real quick, which is nice. I like the shower heads better. I think they're there's several reasons. I'd like Pilot Flying J first, then I'll go to Love's, then if I have to, I'll go to TA Petro. And unfortunately, I do remember the old TA Petro truck stops because they're exactly the same today as they were 30 years ago. They are absolutely run down. They're old. They're tired. They're dark. It doesn't seem like they're cleaned as often to me. Pilot Flying J, Loves, they're brighter. They're a little bit more. They're in newer buildings. They're just maintained a little bit better, in my opinion. Now, the only exception to that rule is Iowa 80. But since the vast majority of Iowa 80 is not a TA or a Petro, even though it's associated with them, you can get a free shower at Iowa 80, with that. It's like I like Iowa 80 for other reasons just besides, that. It's a good place to stop. You got a good convenience store there. You have plenty of restaurants there. You have all the accessories you could want to buy for a truck there, pretty much. It has the Iowa 80 stuff more than the Petro TA stuff. Yeah, Petro TA, same exact company. It's kind of like Pilot Flying J. At some point they one bought out the other. They just kept the name around instead of just swapping it all over to saying Pilot or saying Flying J. It's all the same company. So I said I'm not a big fan of TA Petro. It's just not my speed. I just think they're really lackluster in what they do. It doesn't seem like they're taking any time to update the building, the interior, the exterior. It seems like they're stuck in 30 years in the past. And it's just not my, like I said, I like going into Pilot Flying J. It's a little bit, it's newer, more modern, it's brighter, it's cleaner. The showers are typically better, in my opinion. But everybody's got their thing. Some people like Loves more than they do Pilot Flying J. I like Loves as my second choice. Then a local mom and pop's place I take before I took TA Petro. But that's just, it's all opinion. So it really doesn't make much of a difference. But like I said, Pilot Flying J, there's enough of them around. You typically can find one within 100-something miles. But like I say, that's all opinion, And then there, it's just like, I like driving in certain states more than I like driving in other states. I mean, California. I'm not a big fan of driving in California for one main reason. The fact that they keep me limited at 55 miles an hour in the entire state. That sucks. Dothan, Alabama. Yeah, I've been there many a time. Yep, right up, what was that, Route 26, I believe it is, coming from Florida. Come right up 26, and the Flying J's right there. Yep, been there many a time. I've delivered in Dothan a couple of times and been through Dothan. Been through Dothan 5 or 6 times. Yeah. When they had the hurricane, around the beginning of the year, or was that last year? I think it was beginning of this year. You had the hurricane that came up into Florida, and it went up and knocked out half the power in Dothan. Half of Dothan was out of power, the other half wasn't, and I'm delivering a generator at the same time. Yeah, yes, I am, Ratman. I appreciate it. It's one of the things, work takes precedent. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I went through there and delivered to the Department of Bridge Works or State Highway, off on the east side, southeast side of Dothan, delivered a generator there, which I brought out of Texas, and I had to back road it, from I-10, I had to back road it up to get to 26 because they had down power lines and everything was shut down. But I got it there. That's all that matters. And I got it there safely and legally. No damage. Just the only problem with that load was we didn't know you were coming. That was the fun part. Get there on time, first thing in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning. I got there. They wanted me there as early as possible, and I get there. The people there going, "We didn't even know you were coming." Oh well, it's one of the things. But Dothan is not a bad place. Dothan is one of those places. I wish there was more truck stops in Dothan. Especially on the east side. I think there was a little bit more restaurants over on that side, if I remember right. But overall, Dothan's one of those places that's not too bad. I don't mind going to Dothan. I did a lot of work over in Bruton, Alabama, when I first started trucking. I was going from Bruton, Alabama, from the Georgia Pacific plant there, up to Atlanta, every single day, 260 miles north, 260 miles south. And then I did a couple of extra ones going to Georgia Pacific plants over in Valdosta or Albany. And, it's not too bad. And like I said, the first time I went there, I kind of backroaded all the way over there. Wasn't too bad. Well, I think we all feel that way about certain places. I'm a Baltimorean, but I escaped Baltimore. It just is not conducive to me, my mental well-being, my emotional well-being, any of that stuff. So I got out of there too. So, some places are nice to visit. The desert Southwest is that way for me. It's nice. I like some of the landscapes. It's nice to pop through once in a while, but I'm not suited for this climate, for this ecosystem that's here. I'm too much of a Yankee. I'm too much of a Northerner. I need my winters. I need real winter every year, and I need less people. That's why I'm moving to Montana. I still need to get my passport redone. so I can do the Canada runs, which I would like to do, especially over on the east side of Canada. Get into Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, that kind of area. I would like to get that. Yeah, I mean, humidity is the biggest issue for me. I can tolerate 100 degrees, 105. I can tolerate that. But when you start scooping in, 100%, 200%, 5 billion% humidity on that, it's like, no, I don't like that, and I don't want to deal with that ever again. So, northern Montana, Lake Flathead is where I want to move to, and I will do that, hopefully this next year. Well, just security reasons is why that changed. It's just security concerns with terrorism that came in. It changed all that. So, yes. So, yeah, I mean, you can get the fast card that when you're going across the border frequently as a transportation worker, truck driver, you get the fast card, just flash that, they let you through. You deal with your bills of lading. That takes the biggest amount of time. But other than that, you flash that fast card, they scan it. All right, head on up to Saskatchewan or head over to Ontario, whatever you got to do. But like I said, once I get my passport redone, I can take care of that. And I get a little bit better, stuff. But I'm still in that learning process of heavy haul, so I'm not in a big rush to deal with that. But other than that, not too bad. Today was a fairly easy day. I did 529 miles today. Lordsburg, New Mexico to Palm Springs. Well, they actually call this Thousand Palms. The truck stop I'm at right now, I'm at a Flying J. Here at Thousand Palms on basically the west side of Palm Springs. Up the road from Coachella and Indio, where all the hippie kids hang out once a year for their little concert type thing. But wasn't too bad of a day, fairly started off in the 30s. I got here, it was about 91 when I got here. So a little bit of a temperature change, about 60-degree temperature change from the morning in New Mexico to here in California. So it wasn't too bad of a day. The only thing that slowed me down was being stuck at 55, which, like, come on. Tomorrow, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? All right, so tomorrow, leaving Palm Springs on the west side of town, I'm heading over into Los Angeles, into the valley there, San Bernardino. Following Route 10 or Interstate 10 up into like Redlands area, northwest or northeast side of the valley. I'm probably gonna get on 210 because staying on 10 is not the best way to go. Get up on 210 as close to the mountains on the north side as possible. Taking that all the way over to hit Route 5, and from 5 taking that straight up all the way up to Sacramento, which is about 550 miles. So it's going to be a long, slow day. But we have a truck stop up there. Let's see. Pilot number 879. Right up I-5 or I-80 and I-5. It's on the northwest side of Sacramento. Then, like I said, we cannot deliver until Tuesday. So Monday, for Sunday night into Monday, we're going to be sitting all day Monday. We'll be doing a 34. I only had like 16 hours left on my 70 for the week. So since I have an extra day, do a 34 there in Sacramento. Tuesday morning, get up to Yuba City, Yuba City, a little bit north of straight north of Sacramento. Get these ATVs off. Then hopefully I'll have a load waiting for me. But I'll probably have to go somewhere because, I don't know where in this area, because it's in California. This is actually the most north I've ever been in California. The furthest north I've ever been in California in my entire life is when I was a kid. It was in San Francisco, to Treasure Island and, Alameda, Fisherman's Wharf, that kind of stuff. And even when I came up here, when I was at Melton, I came up to Oakley and Antioch, basically a little bit north and east, just a little more east and north of San Francisco, and made a delivery of a plastic pipe there. Wasn't too bad of a run, but that's the most north I'd really ever been in California. So now I'm going up to, a little bit north of Sacramento. And, but from that point here in Sacramento, I could go many different ways, but I don't know where I'm going to go to pick up the next load. But that's that's just the nature of truck driving. Sometimes you just don't know where you're going until you have that come across the old computer there. Hey, head over this direction. We're going to find you something over this way. Okay. But, that's just the nature of the job. Turn that on. Got to get the APU running here. But hopefully they got me a load back to Minnesota, to the main office there in Grand Meadow, Minnesota, because I'm having problems again with my fuel system on the truck. It's still acting up. APU, auxiliary power unit. Basically, it's a small generator, heater, air conditioner, fluid control that's attached to the truck. So the main truck engine doesn't run 24 hours a day. Basically, the truck engine gets turned off, and when I get to my final stop for the day, the APU, auxiliary power unit, will turn on. Gives me all my electricity, gives me heating, gives me cooling. It also circulates fluid through the engine, so especially during the winter time, the engine doesn't freeze. So, it's just one of the things, it's a great thing to have on a modern truck, especially with all the technology and, electronics that we have on the truck nowadays. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, the last 15, 20 years is when it really started coming in, but now they're common enough. Some people say they're unreliable. My last company had a problem with reliability, but the one I have on this truck ain't had problem one. I've had zero negative things about it. Now, which I don't see why it's so hard to keep them maintained. Because my last company, Melton, I was going there. I thought I'd be getting an APU when I got there, and nope, we're not putting them on the trucks anymore. They're costing too much money to repair, more than they're worth, more than they save on fuel. So they just said the truck had no idle restriction on it, so I could run the truck 24 hours a day. Which there have been a couple times where I had to do that when it was too hot or really too cold, like last January in Chicago. Minus 30-degree temperatures with minus 50 for the wind chill. I ran that truck all night long. Barely got any heat out of it, but ran the truck all night long. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to start in the morning. And I was not going to be suffering at minus 30 inside a truck. So the truck ran all night long, which I needed to have. But there's certain things on a truck that I wish that I had now that I just don't. Well, like I said, instead of, because they had the APUs on there and they were spending more money on that, I mean, the APU would have did just fine. But because they're spending more money on it, they figured it's cheaper to let the truck run. Pardon me. It's cheaper to let the truck run and burn the fuel at the maximum amount for idle, a gallon an hour, than it is, to spend the money repairing and replacing, the APUs all the time. APU is like $5,000. So you buy it, you fix it, you fix it, you fix it, you fix it. It comes to a point where the cost of the repairs outweighs the cost of the fuel running through the regular truck engine. There's a point where those numbers start going the wrong way, and then it becomes easier to run the truck. Which my truck had no idle shut off, so it worked just fine. So I had a 2019, Kenworth T680. Ran it all, 2018, ran in 2019. Then came here. I got a 2018 Peterbilt 389 now. I am at Valley Transportation Services out of Grand Meadow, Minnesota. And like I said, Melton is just a straight flatbed company. If it fits in within the normal confines, length, width, height, weight, that's 99% of what they do. Every once in a while, they'll get an oversized load. Rarely. I never did a single oversized load there. No, I do heavy haul. John Deere, Caterpillar, Case International Harvester, big stuff like that. That's our primary, stuff we do. Construction and agricultural equipment. That's our primary field there. The closest I'm going to come to food is putting a load of hay on the trailer. Yeah, a lot of trucks are doing that for the breast cancer awareness, thing. I don't think they're really doing it because they actually care. They're doing it more as a, hey, look at me, I care. It's the optics of it more than actually doing something about it. Because Schneider has that, RTI has that, all these other companies are doing it as well. Well, okay, Boyd Brothers, they're in had a place there in Birmingham, Alabama. which is right around the corner from where Melton had their terminal. So I saw Boyd, all the time whenever I went to Birmingham, and that's where I did my orientation with Melton, Birmingham, Alabama. Right around the corner from a Pilot Flying J, right there, right off of the exit on 59. So, I saw Boyd, a good number of times while I was there. But, like I said, so when you come off the road, off the highway, you got the Pilot Flying J on the right-hand side. You go up to the light, and then you make a left, and that's where Boyd is, right there on the left-hand side. But if you take that first right, you go up around the corner, that's where Melton is. Right up, go up the hill a little bit, right there. And if you were out of that terminal, you probably remember the steel company that was right through the light. You got that steel company that's up on the right-hand side, right before the road curves around to the left a little bit. Well, that place is closed. So I'm pretty sure, for Boyd, you brought some stuff out of that little steel plant right there, that little steel company. But they're closed. It's been closed for at least a year and a half. Yeah. See all the fun you miss when you get out of a truck? Yeah, so that steel place is closed. Now I have a question. What is it with the waitresses in Birmingham, Alabama? All right. Nowhere else in America did I have this problem. Nowhere. All right. The waitresses in Birmingham, Alabama. All right. Last year, in middle of 2018, I left my first company. I went to Melton. I'm doing my orientation there in Birmingham. At the hotel down the road a little ways. I forget exactly what road it was off of. But went down to, went over to the Applebee's, went over to the Longhorn Steakhouse or Outback, whatever it was, that was there. 2 times in that week. 2 times I went out to eat at Applebee's, and I think it was Longhorn or Outback. I can't remember. It was a steak place. 2 times I bought a meal for somebody in the restaurant. First time was an older man with his wife. The other time was 2 older ladies, having some dinner. And do what I do sometimes. Hey, manager, waitress, give me their check. Don't tell them. Try to just be kind, pass on a little bit of generosity, and just make it anonymous. Well, both times, they're in Birmingham, Alabama. It's the only place I've had this problem. The waitress would come over and talk to the people. Now your check's been taken care of. Somebody paid your check for it. And like most people, I'm not blaming the people I bought the meals for, but most people would say, "Oh, really? Who was it?" I think that's a pretty reasonable, normal question to ask. Well, I told the waitresses, don't tell them, that who picked it up. Just don't say a word. Just, your meal's been taken care of. They want to remain anonymous. I'm glad you had your good meal. Have a good day. But no, 2 times at 2 different restaurants, 2 different waitresses. Oh, who did it? Oh, that guy right there. That guy did it. And I've never had that anywhere except in Birmingham, Alabama. They just cannot keep a secret. The waitresses in Birmingham cannot keep a secret. Oh, so I need to type a message here. All right. So, like I said, I picked up. I've done that in New York City. I've done that in Florida. I've done it in Colorado, Indiana, New Mexico, Texas. I've done it several other places. And not one time anywhere else did the waitresses not or waiters not keep a secret. I mean, it's simple. The only other time that was comparable, that was anywhere comparable, is just because the waitress didn't use their brain and just forgot. Okay? So I'm up in Watertown, Maine. It's right around Christmas time. I'm stuck there for the weekend. I parked next to the Walmart, in the Walmart parking lot. You know, there's a Home Depot there. I think it was an Applebee's I was at. You know, it's freezing cold. I'm tired. I'm dirty. Blah 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 blah. Made my delivery. Had no load come in until Monday. So I went to Applebee's for dinner. Sitting at the bar, you know, and you know, there's a couple just come in. And, you know, called the manager standing right there behind the bar. It's that couple right there. Give me their check. Don't tell them. Well, it went in one ear and out the other because I'm sitting there for a good hour and a half. You know, hey, where's that check? Oh, I forgot to tell them. What's so hard about that? You know, your whole job is taking orders. I want this. I want that. I want this. You take it down. You write it down. You take it back to the kitchen. What's so hard about telling the waitress or waiter that's helping those people, serving them their food, hey, give that check and bring it to me? That's all it would have taken. So, you know, I sat there for, you know, almost 2 hours, you know, it's an hour and a half after they had come in. You know, and it's like, it's just one of the things that just baffled me, you know. Yeah, it could slip the mind. I understand that, but something that easy it shouldn't have been. Like I said, you know, because I'm a truck driver, I don't get to church on Sunday like I would like to. And even when I do, it's not to a Catholic church, so I can't go to Mass like I want, you know. So, you know, I try to make up for that in other ways. Like I said, buy somebody a meal. I see somebody who needs help, and, you know, I'll go to the ATM and pull out $100 and give it to them. Hey, Ag Caller, how you doing? I hope your time off is pretty good. Passed by Yuma today. I'm out here in Palm Springs. Left Lordsburg this morning. Doesn't sound like, okay, well, that doesn't sound like you're having a good time then. Hopefully, I don't know what the problem is, but I tell you what. Oh, what did you do to your leg? You scratch it or something? You got ingrown hair or something? I mean, that's not good. You don't need to be getting sick. Oh man. Well, I'll definitely be saying a prayer for you, and I'll be eating this Oreo ice cream cookie in your honor tonight. This is the Ag Hauler's cookie ice cream. I'll be eating this for Ag Hauler so he feels better. yeah, I could sympathize with that because I had something in a little bit more of a private area, let's say, and I had to go get surgery for an infection. Let's just say it was not fun. Now, it wasn't painful because it shot me up with morphine. But let's just say it was not the kind of area you want to be putting sharp objects near. And that's what they had to do. Oh, man. Yeah, an infection. Yeah, you don't need that. I mean, did they have to give you a tetanus shot or what? Any of that stuff? Because I would not want. I know the modern tetanus shots are a lot better. But anytime you have to go in for any kind of surgery, no matter how quote minor or outpatient it is, it's still not that kind of thing you want to deal with. It's not like getting a splinter and just pull it out and get a little bit of pus with it. Now that's minor. That's nothing. But when you have to go to the doctor and they bring out a scalpel and they have to give you medication to control the pain. Hey, Brent Welker, my buddy there, Brent Welker. We went to truck driving school together. Started at that Watkins Shepherd together. But don't let his friendship with me be held against him. Yeah, right. But no matter what thing what it is, anytime you have to go to the doctor, there's nothing enjoyable about that. It's not like Bill Murray in Little Shop of Horrors, going to the dentist and having fun, being a masochist. That's entertaining. Steve Martin beating the crap out of his patients, and then Bill Murray comes in, wanting to get the pain. That's funny. But when it happens to you, nowhere near. It's kind of like that thing where watching a video, seeing a guy get hit in the groin with a football, you're going to laugh at that. It happens to you, it's nowhere near funny. Watching some knuckleheaded little teenager wipe out on a skateboard is hilarious. I step off a curb and jam my knee a little bit, from a curb this high because I just missed the step. That's not funny. Well. So it's finally gotten dark here. It is what, 5:21 in here at Palm Springs. Nothing really too fantastic about the day's journey. Just rode along, listened to an audiobook. When I did turn the radio on, flip through the news channels, listen to them all rant and rave about the same damn thing, and all right, turn it off, put put it on the 80s channel or the 70s channel. You know, after an hour or two of that, back to an audiobook. Nope, I ain't been in the shower yet, so we're getting it taken care of in Ag Hauler's honor here. Not so much the 90s for me. 99% of everything that came out in the 90s sucked. I grew up on the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. Then when I became a teenager, it was 80s, heavy metal, new wave. Country before the 80s. Listen to all that. Classical music, little bit of opera, just a little bit. I said, you know, well, that's a given. Yes. You know, I like Spanish guitar, classical guitar, flamenco especially. And, you know, I can deal with a good mix of stuff. You know, Steely Dan, Tom Petty, you know, the Beatles, the whole British invasion, the 80s new wave, heavy metal from the 80s. Yeah, well, see, hip hop, rap, when it first started out in the late 70s, early 80s, it was okay. It was entertaining. Had my fun with it. But once they start doing this gangster rap crap, it's like click. It all became the same exact thing. The same droning on, money, hoes, living the gangster life, you know. And it's all became, it lost its appeal real quick. Yeah, I mean, it just became nowhere near entertaining at all. I mean, back in the quote old days of rap, you know, it was like any other genre of music. It had, you know, having a good time came like with disco, dancing, having a party, you know, this and that, you know, and they touched on different, you know, themes of life. There are times that get serious, but then there was times where they were just having fun, you know. The Beastie Boys, Run DMC, you know, doing Christmas songs. They don't do that anymore, it doesn't seem like. You know, just rap just kind of, you know, it basically did the same kind of thing that country did once it got into the 1980s. It went too pop, and the main criteria was, do I wear cowboy boots? Do I have a cowboy hat? Do I speak with a country accent? And everything else, all the music turned to garbage, you know? You know, I want to go back to the days with, you know, Porter Wagoner, Faron Young, Ferlin Husky, you know, early Dolly Parton, when she's doing more of the bluegrass stuff, you know, Porter Wagoner, Buck Owens, you know, Roy Clark. I want to go back to, you know, Patsy Cline and that type of stuff. That's where country is, you know, is really great. Well, like Loretta Lynn, you know, go up to going to Illinois, go to Loretta Lynn's restaurant. I think it's right. I forget where that's exactly at. But, going down Patsy Cline Highway in Virginia, going down to Bruton, Alabama, where one of the Oak Ridge Boys lives, where Farron Young used to live, his hometown, or not his hometown, but where he settled. But, country music nowadays, I just can't do it. It's all the same. It's not entertaining. Like most of the rock music now. It's all the same generic crap. They got to put the rap into it, or they all have to have the same sounding voice. There's no real artistry left to it. And speaking of which, I came across a channel today on YouTube that the guy is doing a review of music. Let me get his channel here. See if it'll come up. Yeah, yep, not that. No, he was doing a review of Steely Dan's second album, the entire album. And he had some pretty good insights that I liked. Let's see, what's this guy's channel? Soul Train Bro. And he had some pretty amazing insights to the music while it's playing. He's not over-explaining things, just his impression as it goes along. And I like the way he did it. I wish more people did the music reviews a little bit more like that. Pretty much, bit of chat. Pretty much, when the problem I have with a lot of these musicians nowadays, especially in rap or hip hop or what they're calling R&B soul nowadays, it's this artist featuring this artist. Why can't you do it on your own? Almost every song nowadays seems like, oh, this is from Twinkie Dink featuring J. Cool Smasher or whatever it is. Every single song. It's like, come on. Do it without the auto-tune. Do it without all the computer enhancements to your voice. Do it without all the studio tricks. I want you to be able to go up to a microphone and be able to sing. People like Smokey Robinson actually had a real voice. All right. Actually sing a real song. I'm sorry, rapping is not. Yeah, there's some artistic stuff there. I can't deny that. But when everybody under the freaking sun is doing it, come on. Do also real songs, not the same, money, bitches and hoes and all that other crap. When you got to say your own name 14 times in your own song and every single song, I'm sorry, I don't think you have that much talent. I want some of these people nowadays to try to sing a song like Patches by Clarence Carter. Look up Clarence Carter Patches. Listen to that song, and I want you to really listen to it. Really experience the emotions of that song, and I want you to come away without crying. I don't think any real man or woman can listen to Patches by Clarence Carter and not cry a single tear. That's one of the most amazing songs ever written and sung. I mean, the Spinners, the Platters, the OJs, the Stylistics, you know, the Beatles, you know, Procol Harum, Tom Petty, you know, these people actually, you know, created very unique, you know, stuff. Yeah, the Bee Gees, they had amazing harmony. They crafted amazing songs. You know, and unfortunately, that is missing in today's music nowadays, I think. You know, just, you know, show and tell, uh, you know, being able to actually sing without any assistance from a computer or a producer, you know, that's just something like, Barry Gibb, I thought Bobby Sherman had more talent. Hell, I thought, you know, Rupert Holmes was much better than Andy Gibb. Andy Kim, with his one or two hits, I thought was much better than Andy Gibb. Andy Gibb was more of the teen heartthrob, you know, Tiger Beat, let the teenage girls fawn over him type stuff. You know, he was right up there with, I'm trying to think of a female comparison to him, but yeah, I'm sure, you know. I don't know. The only probably one that I thought was probably musically anything similar was probably Andrea True. You know, with that song "More, More, More." That's probably the level that you know, it's catchy, it's an okay song, but that's really all they got. You know, that's where I put Andy Gibb in my rankings, but it was okay. I mean, like I said, I'd rather listen to Gilbert O'Sullivan cry in you know, Alone Naturally than listen to Andy Gibb. You know, I could do John Denver. That's not a problem. You know, like I said, Andy Kim, Rupert Holmes, the Dr. Pepper guy. You know, I forget what you know his song "I'm Making It." What was this guy's name? David Naughton. That's the Dr. Pepper guy, David Naughton. You know, the werewolf. I think he was in Werewolf in London. If I remember right. Elton John. He's become more of a jerk the older he got, or the older he's getting. He had some pretty good songs, you know, back in the 70s. You know, Island Girl is probably the one I like the most. Philadelphia Freedom was okay. You know, I'm Still Standing in the 80s was okay. I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That was pretty decent, you know, for the early 80s. But pretty much by the very early 80s, his course had pretty much run the you know, had run on, and he just had nothing left really for me. Plus, I was still a kid in the 70s, so I wasn't much into Elton John. You know, I appreciated him more in the 80s than I did in the 70s, because I was still more into my preteen years. Because I was born in 71. So I grew up listening to, the 60s music. Listening to more of the soul, real R&B, music. Then once I got into the 80s, got to, it was new wave. It was heavy metal. The 80s is my sweet spot for pop and rock music. Yeah. But for the most part, exactly. Bernie Taupin, if it wasn't for his writing, I don't think Elton John would have ever gotten out of the Troubadour, there in Los Angeles ever. I don't think if it wasn't for Bernie, I just think he would have been one of those hundreds of thousands of people who dreamed about being, being rich, being a big rock star, And then he started, wearing the Donald Duck suit and all the gaudy stuff, trying to be a modern day Liberace, I don't know. It just seems like some people are of a certain era. The Beatles are the 60s. Smokey Robinson and Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, they are Motown. They are soul music. That's their place. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's. But that's one of the things. It's still all opinion. Like I said, I can still listen to, Bach and Brahms and Dvorak and Stravinsky. I can listen to them all day, any day, and it never gets old. I can listen to, Carlos Montoya, Sabacus, Segovia, these Spanish flamenco players. I can listen to them all day long without ever growing tired of them. But then you bring out some of the stuff that nowadays it's like, whatever. I don't care enough about them. So I mean, if I had my choice half the time, I'd rather listen to Weird Al Yankovic than the originator of the songs, because it's more entertaining. Put those up in there. There you go. But that's all. There's many other songs I like better than Amish Paradise. Nature Trail to Hell is a funny song. King of Suede, I like better. Truck Driver Song, much better. Bedrock Anthem, funny, great. Foil, tacky, handy. Some of his last album was his first #1 album ever. But for the like I said, yeah, I mean, Jerry Reed with the most iconic truck driving song ever, Eastbound and Down. And then, of course, C.W. McCall with Convoy. Yep. You know, there is some of that romanticism for that, the 1970s in trucking that it's still affecting truck driving today. So many guys are still looking back at the 1970s as kind of the golden era of truck driving. I mean, there were no aero trucks. You had long hoods. You had cab overs. But nowadays, you got all these aero trucks out there with people who can't drive, and more importantly, can't back up into a parking spot. That's the frustrating part. No, but beyond that, well, let's see here. Trucking On, 52 songs on Amazon for $8. There you go. But most 7 days on the road, and I'm going to get home tonight. I mean, cassettes. I ain't had a cassette in 20 plus years. My God. You are living in the Stone Age there, my dear. You're living in the Stone Age. Cassette. Hell, I don't even have a CD. I don't even have a CD anymore. It's all on YouTube, on iTunes. Got a little ice water here for my drink. Trying to keep the sodas to a minimum, because that's my number one downfall. Too many, going into the truck stop when I do my load check and getting a Pepsi. It's so good. It tastes so wonderful. I tell you, that's my number one downfall with that. Well. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody has any questions. Be open to answer any kind of question about myself. Yeah, I used to be a big Mountain Dew drinker as well. But, you start approaching 50 and it's like, can't do that anymore. Oh, man alive. But, I try to make up for it in other ways. Eat a higher fat diet. Take my curcumin. Take my daily vitamin for Persona. It all works in the end eventually. But, let's do that down there for the moment. Basically, I've jibber jabbered on for an hour and 15 minutes already. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. Well, like I said, I got here roughly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Did 529 miles for the day. Got myself parked, walked across the street. There's a place called Goody's Family Restaurant. Was going to give that a try. It looks like more of a local joint. And as soon as I get up there, no cars in the parking lot, like 1 or 2 people inside. And it's not what I call a family restaurant. You have to walk up to the counter like you would at a burger joint. So that kind of said, screw that. Went right next door to the Denny's and had me some hash browns, some bacon, and 6 fried eggs. And that was my dinner. So I had me a nice high-fat, low-carbohydrate dinner. Didn't even have toast. You know, that all the yolk that came, got swept up with the potato and the bacon, Other than that, that was my dinner. I had some tacos for lunch. I had a couple of chocolate-covered raisins, but basically water for the day. I think I will do that. Hot Pockets. Mr. Welker, come on, man. I thought you were on that burrito kick instead. Now you're sinking down to Hot Pockets. All right, well, like I said, we are going to, like I told Mr. Welker here, the secret to a microwave little, patio or Little Juan or Monterey burrito, little microwave burrito for like $1 or whatever they cost. 1, you thaw them out. Just let them sit out and thaw out. 2, you get yourself a good pasta sauce that you like, and you put a little bit of spices in it, garlic, cumin. You doctor it up so it's a nice little spicy, more of a Mexican sauce. Get some extra cheese, onion, green pepper, green onion, whatnot. A little bit of refried beans, maybe. You warm it all up. You put it all on the plate together. You do that. And, that's the way you do a microwave burrito. Make it a real meal. All right? It's like here, I got a instant, a cup of chili. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to add a little bit of water to thin it out just a little bit. I'm going to add some cheddar cheese, onion. I got a bag of Fritos. I'm going to put all that on the plate together. Turn this 1 serving meal into basically a 2 serving meal. And really enjoy it. Add a little extra garlic, add a little extra spice to it to make it what I like. But this is a good starting point. I've done that. But what I really like to do, a good Nathan's hot dog or Hebrew National hot dog, 2 good, decent, buns, 3 or 4 hot dogs on 2 buns. Take a can of Hormel chili, heating that up, dump that on top, cover it with cheese, put a nice big chunk onion on top of that, a nice big plate, 9-inch plate with chili dogs. There you go. That's the way to do it. Hey, that's my gift to the world, making people hungry because I like talking about food. I've never smoked, never drank, never did drugs. I eat. That's my vice. That's my one main weakness. I eat. Yeah. He's got this affinity for, anything. If it comes in a bowl, he's happy. Oh, I know that. I know it. I know that doesn't go far at all. And that's part of the thing why I cook in the truck as much as I can. I take that little bit of money, that I set aside for food, and I make it last for an entire week. Where, like I said, I went over here, like I said, 6 eggs, hash brown, and 4 strips of bacon. Cost me 12 freaking bucks here at the at Denny's. 6 tacos at Taco Bell this morning was $12. So it's like, that's outrageous. For that same price, I could have done 3 meals with that same amount of money. Seta Gibbs is from the movie Young Frankenstein. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Here, I got the picture right here. Seta Gibbs. Just watch the movie Young Frankenstein, and you'll get it. All right, well, let's see. Not too much else going on today. Like I said, tomorrow we're getting up to Sacramento from Palm Springs, about 550 miles approximately tomorrow. I-10, I-210, over to I-5 straight all the way north, past San Francisco to Sacramento. I-80, bing, bang, boom. And we'll be staying at that Pilot Flying J, number 879, I believe it is, for the rest of tomorrow. And then all of Monday into Tuesday morning. Then Tuesday morning, I can deliver. So we'll reset our clock. I will be looking at that. I'll be making that Christmas present. Don't worry about that. So I'll get your email from that and send that off. So, like I said, just have a good night, bit of chat, have a good evening. So like I said, a good full day's drive, which could be, a good hour and a half, 2 hours less if California allowed me to do 70 miles an hour instead of restricting me to 55, which it seems like I'm the only one. I'm the only one who ever does the speed limit. If you watch any of the videos I do, the regular vlog videos, you see me complaining about that all too often. You have a good night, bit of chat. God bless. But other than that, it should be a fairly easy day. I'm going to try to leave here at 4 o'clock-ish. But it doesn't really matter if I sleep in a little bit longer. Doesn't matter. As long as I get a parking spot once I get up there. As long as I get up there by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be fine. Because that'll be, if I get there it's 8 hours, on Sunday, 24 hours on Friday or on Monday, then another 2 hours come the morning. So, I have plenty of time to get up there. Not going to try to fight it. But like I said, not too worried about going fast. It's always about going safely and legally and actually getting to where you need to go than getting there right now. All right, so I've been up since 4 a.m. Mountain time. It is now, 6 o'clock. So I've been up for a good while. So 12, 17 hours, 16 hours. Something like that. I don't know. All right, but I guess we're going to cut this one a little bit short tonight. We will be trying to get, I do apologize for being late for this one because I'm on Pacific time right now. I try to do it at 6 p.m. Eastern on the weekends, but it comes when it comes. Sometimes you can't help that. But other than that, like I said, nothing too amazing or fantastic today. Just it's trucking. It is what it is. Sometimes you have to drive when you don't want to. But like I said, it's just the way the job is. So, like I said, tomorrow we get up Sacramento. Tuesday we deliver. I'm supposed to have a load back to Minnesota. Once I do that, once I make this delivery, I should have a load back to Minnesota. Get some truck work done with the fuel system. This is the 4th time it's going in the shop with the same exact problem. Hopefully it goes. It actually gets fixed this time. Because if it has to be 5 times, I'm just gonna say you need to put me in a new truck because I can't operate when the truck's not working properly. Oh, shirt just says February Guy Facts, lists a bunch of traits, being an idiot, being a jerk, being a smart ass, how much each day that you get out of that. So I'll send you a picture later there, Brent. But other than that, like I said, nothing too fantastic this run. 7 ATVs. Just threw straps over them yesterday in El Paso. Today I wind up in California. Tomorrow we get to Sacramento. Then from there, like I said, hopefully get back to Minnesota. Then once the truck is quote unquote fixed, then we can go anywhere in America. We can come back to the West. We can go to Maine. We can go down to Florida. More than likely, I'll be driving down to Dubuque or to Waterloo, Iowa. Pick up some more John Deere tractors, excavators, skid steers, backhoes, whatever. And we can take that anywhere in America. But we'll just see what it is, whether I need permits or don't. Other than that, not too bad. We're just cruising along. I'll hit 30,000 miles that I've put on the truck in the past 3 months. I wish a little bit more. I've had a little bit too much downtime, but whatever. Other than that, it's trucking. You know, what can you say? You know, it's drive, deliver, pick up, wait, worry about this, worry about that. Same thing as always. So, as I said, it's an hour and a half. We've been jibber jabbering. So we're going to cut it off here. I got videos to edit. I want to try to get at least one done today. I mean, if I can get 2 done tonight, that'd be even better. Well, tough. This isn't your live feed, knucklehead. Here, you take a screenshot. There. Words to live by. Tostitos salsa con queso. There you go. You can put that on your wall, and you can dream all about trucking. There you go. What do you want to do? So I just want to say God bless. Good night, everybody, from Thousand Palms, Palm Springs, California, for the night. And like I said, tomorrow we will get on as soon as I stop. I'll get on for the live feed. Try to make it as early as possible. Like I said, anticipate 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we will go from there. And we'll shoot the breeze some more at that point in time. So good night. God bless everybody.